Have you ever noticed how the people we re closest to are sometimes the ones we treat the worst? A casual snap at your partner? A forgotten promise to a best friend? Taking your parents for granted? It's a strange human tendency, isn't it? We offer endless politeness to strangers, but with our inner circle, the rules seem to change. This is the paradox of familiarity breeds disrespect, and today, we're going to dive deep into why this happens and what we can do about it. It's not just about being nice. It's about preserving the relationships that matter most. Let's start by understanding what familiarity really is. It's more than just knowing someone's name. It's about predictability. You know how your friend will react to a joke, what your sibling's favorite food is, the little habits of your partner. This predictability creates a sense of comfort and safety. You can let your guard down, be your authentic, unfiltered self, and that's a beautiful thing. But hidden within this comfort is a trap. The brain, being the efficiency-loving machine it is, starts to take this predictability for granted. It categorizes these people as safe and known, and in doing so, it stops paying close attention. The novelty wears off, and with it, the conscious effort we once put into the relationship. Think back to the beginning of a friendship or a romantic relationship. Every conversation was an adventure. You were discovering new things about them, hanging on every word. You were on your best behavior, thoughtful and considerate, because you were actively trying to build a connection and make a good impression. This is what psychologists call the attentional spotlight. In new situations, our spotlight is bright and focused. We're actively processing information and making an effort. But as a person becomes familiar, our brain dims that spotlight. It says, "I've got this figured out," and redirects that precious mental energy elsewhere. It's not malicious. It's just cognitive laziness. We stop seeing the person in front of us and start seeing the mental shortcut we've created for them. This leads to the first major reason. Familiarity breeds disrespect. Assumption? We assume we know what they're going to say, so we interrupt them. We assume they'll forgive us, so we don't bother to apologize properly. We assume they'll always be there, so we don't make time for them. These assumptions strip away the other person's individuality. They are no longer a dynamic, evolving human being, but a static character in our life story. We stop listening with the intent to understand and start listening with the intent to reply based on our pre-existing assumptions. This is where communication breaks down and resentment begins to build. That feeling of being unseen or unheard by someone who is supposed to know you best. It stings precisely because of that closeness. Another key factor is the erosion of boundaries. When you first meet someone, there are clear unspoken social rules. You wouldn't just show up at a new acquaintance's house unannounced or borrow their car without asking. These boundaries are a form of respect. They acknowledge the other person's autonomy and personal space. But as we get closer, these lines begin to blur. While some of this is natural and healthy, a sign of intimacy, it can go too far. We might start oversharing, making demands, or invading their personal time and space without a second thought. The courtesy we extend to a stranger disappears because we feel entitled to the other person's time, energy, and resources. That sense of entitlement is the direct opposite of respect. Respect is earned and maintained. Entitlement assumes it's a given. Let's talk about emotional regulation. With strangers or colleagues, we maintain a certain level of composure. If your boss annoys you, you probably won't scream at them. You'll bite your tongue, take a deep breath, and handle it professionally. Why? Because there are clear consequences. You could damage your reputation or even lose your job. With our loved ones, the perceived consequences are much lower. We know they love us and are likely to forgive us. They become a safe outlet for our frustrations. Had a bad day at work? It's your partner or family who gets the brunt of your bad mood. This isn't fair, of course. We're essentially using them as emotional punching bags, offloading our stress onto them without considering the impact. This is a classic example of disrespect born from the security of the relationship. We're not afraid of them leaving, so we drop the filter. Furthermore, there's a psychological principle called hedonic adaptation. It's the reason why the thrill of a new car or a new phone fades over time. We adapt to the positive stimulus, and it becomes our new normal. The same thing happens with people. The wonderful qualities that first attracted you to your friend or partner, their kindness, their humor, their intelligence, can become part of the background. You get used to them. You stop actively appreciating these traits because they're just there. This lack of active appreciation is a subtle form of disrespect. It's taking their goodness for granted. We stop saying thank you for the little things. We stop complimenting them. The positive reinforcement that nourishes a relationship slowly starves. So, this all sounds pretty bleak, doesn't it? Are we all doomed to disrespect the people we love the most? Absolutely not. The good news is that awareness is the first and most crucial step. Now that we understand the why, we can focus on the how to counteract this natural human tendency. The first strategy is to practice mindful appreciation. It's about consciously shining that attentional spotlight back onto your loved ones. Don't just assume they know you love and appreciate them. Show them. Make it a daily practice. This can be as simple as sending a text during the day saying, I was just thinking about you and how much I appreciate your support. Or verbally thanking your partner for making dinner, even if they do it every night. Actively look for the good. Compliment them on a quality you've always admired. This conscious effort fights against hedonic adaptation. It keeps the relationship fresh and reminds both of you why you value each other. It's like watering a plant. You can't just do it once and expect it to thrive forever. The second strategy is to reestablish and respect boundaries. It's okay to have personal space and autonomy, even in the closest relationships. Have open conversations about your needs. It might sound like, hey, I love spending time with you, but I really need an hour to myself after work to decompress. Or, I'd really appreciate it if you could ask, before borrowing my things. These conversations aren't about creating distance. They're about building a stronger foundation of mutual respect. Healthy boundaries prevent resentment from growing in the shadows. They ensure that intimacy doesn't morph into a sense of entitlement. Third, treat your loved ones with the same courtesy you'd show a respected guest. This might sound strange, but think about it. Would you interrupt a guest mid-story? Would you speak to them with a harsh tone? Would you ignore them while scrolling on your phone? Probably not. Apply that same guest protocol to your family and partner. This doesn't mean being formal or fake. It means choosing kindness. It means putting your phone away during dinner. It means listening fully when they speak. It's about making a conscious choice to show them that they are a priority. Finally, introduce novelty into the relationship. Remember how the brain loves novelty. We can use that to our advantage. Break out of your routines. Try a new restaurant. Go on a spontaneous trip. Learn a new skill together. Ask a question you've never asked before. When you share new experiences, you create new memories. You see different sides of each other. This breaks the pattern of predictability that leads to taking each other for granted. It forces your brain to switch its attentional spotlight back to full brightness, seeing your partner or friend not as a known entity, but as an exciting, ever-evolving person. In the end, familiarity doesn't have to breed disrespect. It can, and should, breed a deeper, more profound connection. But it doesn't happen on autopilot. It requires conscious effort, mindfulness, and a commitment to not let comfort curdle into complacency. It's about remembering that the people closest to us are not just part of our routine. They are the most precious treasures in our lives, deserving of the highest honor and respect we can offer. The goal is to create a familiarity that feels like coming home, not one that feels like being taken for granted. Thank you so much for watching and thinking about this with me. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences with this paradox. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more conversations like this. See you next time.